Lucky Charms are healthier than steak.
No. All right.
Yeah.
Good. Good. We're back.
Yeah.
All right. Mostly peaceful. That's
Mostly.
us. I'm Jimmy. He's Rob.
I'm Rob.
We're going to drink and talk shit.
We
Or-
are.
Talk?
Can't do that in the first 30 seconds, right?
No. It's
hard.
That's so 2020 of YouTube.
Yeah.
Come on. All right.
All
I'm going
right.
to bust out something.
What
You wanna-
do we got?
Want to go for it?
Yeah.
I can't say because, the great
Oh.
and powerful wizard of YouTube and Alphabet will ban us. But it's
Okay.
good. It's good.
Looks
stuff.
good.
Very much.
So we started off earlier this week. You called me and you're like, "Hey, have you read this food pyramid thing?" And I was like,
Yes.
honest to God, I was like, no, I haven't. And then you sent me the link. So I started reading it and I was like, oh, I fucking remember this from September.
Yeah.
Like it was September because I think it was Good Ranchers that first
Yes.
got the notification, like the notoriety on it.
Yeah.
Because they were like, there's no way that our business is less healthy than fucking cereal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they went to town on it, dude. I read
yeah.
that whole article and they went to town on them.
Yeah.
I appreciate it though,
Of
because
course. As they should, right?
yeah, it's insanity.
Yeah.
It's insanity to even remotely just even think the notion
I know.
that cereal, let alone cereal with marshmallows in it, is somehow better than a good
Ground beef.
New York steak or a
ground beef.
ground
just
beef. Yeah.
Pure protein and fat content.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Exactly.
it's horrible for you. Don't eat that.
Yeah, exactly. No, the one that got me too, it's like the giant red flag where it's like a poached egg is somehow less healthy than egg substitute fried in vegetable oil. It's like, it's legit on there.
Yeah. No.
How insane is that, man? A poached egg is legit an egg in water boiled. And that's
But it-
somehow ranks lower than egg substitute fried in vegetable oil.
But doesn't it boils down to these people, whoever they are.
This is put out by Tufts University,
okay. Fair enough.
who
But
influenced
There's got to be somebody else behind that, right?
MyPlate.gov.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Dot what?
Gov.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems that look. We're gonna stay on topic, but we're gonna go off topic a bit because I want
got
everybody to really sit down and think about all of the fires in food processing plants over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
All of the look at the Purina situation with food with chicken food,
Right.
chicken feeds. Excuse me. People were not able to. They couldn't get their chickens to produce eggs
Mm-hmm.
for months on end.
Right.
And then when they realized, oh, let me switch their feed up. So they got rid of the Purina.
Yeah.
Went and got I don't know what they got, but I guess it was better than Purina, obviously, because
Right.
within a month,
They're producing.
people are literally posting on social media. They're going, hey, I'm actually getting eggs now.
Mm-hmm.
The food processing plants, the lack of production from chickens.
Yeah.
On top of the fucking I can't remember who was talking about it. I may have been at one of the podcasts I listened to, but they were talking about the avian flu
Mhm.
in chickens. And I was like, why the fuck are we dealing with this now? Again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how is
Again.
this a problem?
Right.
Again. It seems like a really,
That's always going to be a problem for us.
it's a
It
cycle
seems
that
that way.
I'm not okay with.
Yeah.
Like,
Me
but
neither.
why are we doing it? What's the end goal here?
It's amazing to me too, everything that happens to these meat processing plants, these chicken factories, these egg plants.
Is the end goal to just hike up food so high that they're like, the government finally steps in and goes, hey, we're going to mitigate this. Here's your porridge.
Right.
You take it and say thank you.
And I guess that's the thing that never happens that makes it suspicious as hell is that you never ever hear, I'm in this vegetable processing plant burned down. You know, they're like the oatmeal factory just blew up out of nowhere. I don't know what happened, man. No more oatmeal.
All the wheat and grain just gone.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, Ukraine, the breadbasket of everywhere, is at war, and we still have no problem getting wheat bread and, you know, grains and oats and barley and all that type of shit. It's perfectly okay.
I mean, we're buying something, right? Like $120 billion.
Apparently, all the wheat. I mean,
we got to be buying something.
It.
They got to be giving us something for all the tanks and the bullshit that we've been giving them.
Quid pro quo, man. It's so yeah. This food pyramid thing. All right, I found it through
the prosecutor. If he doesn't, if he's not fired by the end of the day, you're not getting the $1 billion.
And that's not
son
quid
of a
pro
bitch.
Quo. That's the complete opposite of quid pro quo, man. I don't know what you mean. The thing. So I've got it pulled up right now from Tufts University. This is all right. So let me say this.
Yeah.
All right. People started putting out this bar chart where it took foods from different categories, pitted them against each other, and what you saw was the way that Tufts University ranked these foods was that they would rank beef, ground beef, as in the red, meaning to moderate. Don't eat a lot of this. This
gets you shouldn't eat a lot of anything.
A number 26.
Sure.
High up on the list with like an 80 something is fucking Lucky Charms, right? Which is to be encouraged because it's in the green and it ranks in the 90s and all this, right? So people are looking at this going,
big
what?
Sugar.
What the hell? Right? So I saw that and I'm like, man, that's crazy. So I did a little bit of research about it and I saw some other people came out and they said, well, it's slightly out of context. Don't take that for what it is because the context is supposed to be this. These foods are meant to be judged and numbered within their respective food group. So to put, you know, ground beef against cereal, it's kind of out of context. What it really is meant to do is take something like ground beef, chicken, pork, and all these other meat and protein foods and pit them against each other and put them on a scale.
Okay.
So when you hear it that way, you're like, oh, okay. So what you're telling me is they just took this, went way out of context and made it look bad when it's not. All right, well, let me go to Tufts. Let me see what their bar chart looks like, right?
So before you go any further, let me ask a question.
Yeah.
Where do they become the standard? How? Who made them the standard of
Tufts,
what everybody should be eating?
Well, Tufts University does these studies, I guess. And, you know, let me see this.
I have a little whiskey.
Yeah, go ahead. Pour
I had a
me
rough
some.
night last night, and
I mean, it's a university.
me and Jesus need to have a talk.
The Food Compass nutrient profiling system was developed by the Friedman School of Nutrition Science and Policy at Tufts University. So, from my understanding, Tufts influences National Institute of Health, NIH, as in Dr. You-know-who, right? And things like that when it comes to the nutritional guidelines set forward by our government.
Yeah.
And these guidelines are going to be
I'm a fucking train wreck today, dude.
These guidelines are going to be used in our schools and like hardcore in any government institutions are going to be set forth these guidelines and these people are going to follow them, you know, to a degree, I guess, but that's what they're meant to do. And also to inform people, hey, just so you know, our scientists think that this food's bad, this food's good. So you should follow these rules, right? So I'm no genius. I don't know the complete in and outs, but I did look into it and Tufts definitely influences because they have now our government did away with the food pyramid and they introduced something called MyPlate. MyPlate is a replacement for the food pyramid me and you grew up on. It's been around since the 50s, right? It was like meat, dairy, grain, and fruit and vegetables. So they did away with that, and now they have easier to navigate MyPlate, where apparently protein is soy milk.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, serious. And that goes, so to get back to Tufts, because I said, okay, I don't want to be taking anything out of context, and I'm not trying to, cheers. I'm not trying to blow something up when it's inaccurate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go to Tufts. I'm going to look at their bar charts because they're the ones kind of saying, well, it's taken out of context to a degree. Okay. So if you go to Tufts and you look and they have these foods compared within their own group. Okay. So I'm like, okay. But then they have these charts where it's like this: seafood, dairy, eggs, and meat, all lumped together on their food compass score system, right? From 0 to 100. They rank salami an 18, right? And soy milk a 71.
I can see maybe because of the salt content.
Okay, beef
in
steak.
Salami. Oh, beef steak. Okay.
33. Soy milk 71.
Okay, so
yogurt 56. Okay, beef jerky 11. These are pretty much pure proteins, and you're
by the way, things that you need.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're not getting the proper protein from soy by any means, by any amount.
Soy is horrible for you, and especially if you're a man, especially because of what it does to increasing estrogen levels, and there's a reason they call you a soy boy. How about this? A beef steak, 33 on their scale, right?
Yeah.
But a beef roast, canned, 43 on their scale. So canned roast beef is 10 points better on their system than just a beef steak. That doesn't seem like I'm taking anything out of context. This is coming directly from their chart.
It still doesn't make sense, though.
Exactly. That's my point is when they, when people pointed this out and they started running with it and they were like, look at this. They have ground beef as a 20 on the chart and they've got Lucky Charms as an 80. So to break it down, you're taking it out of context if you're taking these from different food groups, or you're taking their chart where they say on a scale of 0 to 100, beef is 0 and skinless, boneless chicken is 100. That's in the meat category. I could say, okay, I get that, right? Okay. And then in the grain category, they say bread is a 0 and Lucky Charms is 100. Okay, they're in the same category and I get that. But that still don't make sense to me either, because what the fuck is a Lucky Charm if not bread? And how the fuck is bread at like a 0? I mean, really, what's a Lucky Charm, man?
Hey, let me get some bread marshmallows, bro.
And what it really does break down is it really looks like they're pushing heavily processed foods. When you have beef steak at a 30,
but look at what those things have done to society today.
Yeah. That's the point.
My wife and I, we've had many, many discussions about, we have a newborn, obviously.
Yeah.
What do we feed her? When she's capable of eating food, which she is now.
Oh, you mean, posing the question,
yes.
What do we feed her?
What do we feed her, right? So we searched high and low. We were looking for food. What are we going to put? What are we going to allow our daughter to eat?
Yeah.
And what dietary changes are we going to make so that it suits her and we kind of ride that same train track, right?
Yeah.
We looked at all the brands. I'm not going to name brands because it's fucking retarded.
Right.
But we looked at all the brands and we decided on one of the biggest brands there.
Okay.
That everybody knows.
Yeah.
Because it's the simplest ingredients.
Yeah.
There's no preservatives.
I think that's the key to anything food wise is
there's
really no
processing outside of the fact that they mush the damn food so that it's palatable for the infant to eat.
Right.
To the point where I'm like, maybe I should start eating this shit because it's better than what I'm shoveling into my fucking gullet now.
Yeah.
Like, right.
For sure.
When we found all of it, like when we finally decided on what we were going to feed her, we're like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we're going to feed her.
Right.
And then you start diving into more of the fun stuff for your baby to try, right?
Yeah.
My wife fed, I didn't want to say that. My wife fed our daughter a McDonald's hash brown today.
Okay.
She fucking hated it.
Wow.
And I was like, thank God.
Yeah.
I'll never feed that to you again.
Yeah, for sure.
Granted, I probably shouldn't have eaten it either, but I was hungry. So
yeah, and we're grown. We know how to make those decisions for ourselves.
I'm fat, and
I'm knowingly gonna put horrible shit into my body, and I'm okay with that because we're old and who cares, right? But I know better
all the time.
But it's dude. Sometimes don't you don't you wonder, like, me feeding this shit to a child it's almost a crime because they don't know. See, we look at these ingredients, we look over all these products, and I argue this with my wife. I say today's food is not food. It is products designed to be sold to you as food. Because how are you going to legitimately tell me that a beef steak ranks lower in your government weird fucked up system than canned beef roast with preservatives and all this other shit? So you're telling me a steak is worse than canned roast beef?
No, it's not. So let's get a little more nuanced with it, because I think that people are like, oh, I just eat vegetables and I don't.
Which is not good for you either.
Being a vegetarian is fine, dude. If that's your choice, that's your choice. I really think that you're going down a horrible path, considering the fact that if you look at the nutritional value of all the plants that we consume today, and you look at that nutritional value today, and then you go back 50 years, just 50 years, and you look at the nutritional value of what was grown then.
Wildly different. Yep.
We're still eating trash. No matter how healthy you want to be.
Exactly.
We're still fucking eating trash.
Yep.
Because it's nowhere near.
Yeah.
Tomatoes, squash, all cucumbers, all of it.
It's all GMO garbage. It's garbage. Zero nutritional value.
Because it's grown so fast.
Yeah, exactly. And so large.
To feed the masses. Masses.
Yep.
I'm gonna here's a real hot take for a moment. I think we need to go back to survival of the fittest.
Yeah. I told my wife this a couple days ago.
Not survival of everybody, but the fittest.
Yes, I know what you mean. That's what I told my wife. I said, people would have much more respect and understanding for where their food comes from and what it does and just the whole process of it if they had to get it themselves, if they had to work for it. Or new generations, even us, man. I grew up in the McDonald's era. See, the issue was, though, is I think when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, we really didn't know how bad that was for you.
I still don't think it was that bad.
And it probably wasn't. No. Well, it's like now I'm at a place.
It's sad when you have to have a company like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, all these places, they have to put in their commercial 100% real beef.
Yeah.
I thought that's what I was fucking buying in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't
try our new all beef patty. And you're like, well, what was the old all beef? Was it
just half beef?
Yeah. Yeah. Pink slime, man. I watched Food Inc., dude. Come on.
I love some fucking chicken nuggies, but that shit.
But we know.
It violated me.
Yeah.
It violated my entire childhood.
Yeah.
When I saw that video, I was like, oh, it looked like your vape.
The pink slime, man. We know. If you don't know, look up McDonald's pink slime. They probably eradicated that shit from the internet because they don't want anybody to know, and they have so much fucking power. But that's a real thing, man.
And it's the whole chicken, though. That's the problem.
And you know what's crazy?
Like all white meat, and you're like, there's bone too.
Yeah,
like you just mush all that shit together.
Yeah. This is chicken face.
I appreciate it because it's probably shit we should be eating. But we don't know how to properly eat it because we've lost all that.
You don't process it and turn it into fucking slime. I know, that's probably the wrong way to do this shit, but
it is.
Dude, that's why I don't trust the FDA, though. I don't trust the FDA. I don't trust anymore. Like, dude, the organic movement. We were growing up around the organic thing, right?
Yep,
and organic was more of a movement that was like, you know what? We're going to go against the grain because of all the GMO and the processed garbage and the Monsanto seeds and all this craziness. And we're going to go full organic.
Yeah.
And then what happens is it gets taken over by big corporations and they go and lobby and they talk to the FDA. What do I have to do to legally call my stuff organic? Because there has to be a set of rules, right? To legally call something organic means that there has to
they have to go by a certain set of guidelines.
But what are the guidelines and who?
Hang on, because this is before we get away from the word organic. I want to just put this out here because this is how I feel. I think it's retarded, and I'm going to say it. It's retarded.
Yeah.
It's an utterly ridiculous word that fucking everybody uses now.
Yeah,
right?
For nothing.
Here's the best part. Outside of physically, chemically altered products, chemically altered, every fucking thing is organic. Every fucking thing.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, this
is organic.
wood table.
The mic stand, the microphone, at some point, it came from an organic material.
Right.
So you can slap that fucking label on everything.
I know.
I almost made a bad joke, but
you're right. And they started putting it on everything. Where I shop, everything is fucking organic. But it's really, truly no better. It's not truly organic, man.
Beer.
Yeah.
Right? Organic beer.
Yeah.
What the fuck are the ingredients in beer? Does anybody know? I know because I've brewed beer. It is water.
Yep.
Hops. Barley.
Yep.
Yeast.
Yeah.
That's it.
Easy.
Every bit of it is fucking organic.
Yeah.
And now you're slapping an organic label on an organic product that was already organic before you decided.
Well, it's almost like the vegan leather movement, right? Vegan leather, just to throw this out there, it's just fake fucking leather. It's just fake leather. It's not. It's the vegan leather is fake leather.
So it's the same shit that we've been making for 60 years.
It's fake leather. It's faux leather.
Girls would go in and buy faux leather jeans.
That's right.
Yeah.
And a faux leather purse.
Yeah.
But vegan leather sounds A, more expensive. B, like you're saving some fucking animal or planet or some shit.
You're a superhero.
You put a label on it that people like to hear. It's a sexy label. It's, man, I'm supporting, veganism in the planet and all this vegan leather. So this vegan leather purse is $88.99.
I fucking hate labels.
Dude, me too. Basics, man, basics. That's why I'm a proponent of eating as if I was living in 1954. I want some steak and vegetables and fuck everything else. No soda.
I think
none of that.
I think the more accurate timeline would be like
1934.
1895?
Yeah, there you go.
Like before it was mass
1776.
What? Yeah, legit. Because I don't think things were processed the way they are today. Now, and I get it. I get that they had to come up with a solution to feed everybody. And here's the problem.
Yeah,
we're still not feeding everybody.
And
we're only feeding the people who can afford it.
Yeah.
But we also have enough food in this entire world to literally feed everybody.
A lot of people don't even understand that. I'm glad you brought that up. That's a good point, man, is that we had to come up with a solution to be able to feed everybody because back then people were having a hard time getting food. When we started coming out with these big cities in New York and we were the Great Depression, all these things, there was not enough food to feed everybody.
Yeah, and during the Industrial Revolution, we figured it the fuck out.
With science.
Science and ingenuity.
But that's a problem because to this day, our food is probably 30% farmed and 70, 80%
lab grown.
Yes.
For lack of a better term.
GMOs, all this shit, dude, that nobody wants you to talk about. It's science, man. And that's why I tell my wife, I will say it again, our food is less food and more a product for you to buy. Yeah. It fills the hole. Mm-hmm. That's it. But with that, we're going to leave this right here and we'll see you on the next one.